This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 6th day of September in the year 2018. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Breaking news this evening. The Guyana Teachers Union this afternoon announced that a nationwide strike by teachers has been called off, following an agreement with the Education Ministry for the teacher salary issue to be sent to arbitration. The two sides met for over 2 hours at the Department of Labor this afternoon for the final conciliation session. And the GTU said it emerged victorious because the union always wanted to go to arbitration. The GTU President Mark Light addressed teachers gathered outside the Department of Labor.
Colleagues, you have heard the news that the matter is being referred to arbitration.
Yes. And
we insisted that from the very first day that we wanted it to go there, and we have achieved our objective.
That's right.
We have agreed on terms of reference. Most important is that no teacher who was part of the strike will lose pay. There will also be no victimization and loss of seniority. However, the terms of resumption include immediate resumption for those who can resume tomorrow, but full resumption on Monday. We will meet after full resumption on Monday. We will meet on Tuesday to determine the terms of reference for the arbitration panel.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, the Guyana Teachers Union wishes to thank you for showing solidarity and standing behind us through this struggle. And today, we are happy that we are emerging as one group of people with a determination to say that we deserve the best. And today, the matter now is being rolled in the hands of arbitrators who will take a lot of things into consideration, and a decision will be made which will be binding on both sides. And for that, I want you to know that it is out of the hands of the GTU, out of the hands of the government, and into the hands of the three arbitrators. They will look at cost of living and every other thing to determine what is a livable wage for teachers. Long live the Guyana Teachers Union!
Yesterday, the Ministry of Education indicated that it was ready for arbitration. The two sides will meet again on Tuesday to finalize the terms of reference for arbitration. And the arbitration will be binding to both sides. More news in a moment.
We can do more with love. We can share strength with love. We can sail off to something beautiful. Yeah, all I need is more of you. All you need is more of me. Our love is all that we need. Yeah, I wanna love, wanna love, wanna love, wanna love, wanna love you right. Gotta let her love, let her love, let her love, let her love for the coldest nights. I wanna love, wanna love, wanna love, wanna love, wanna love you right. Gotta let her love, let her love, let her love, let her love for the coldest nights. So can we?
Welcome back. Leader of the opposition, Barra Jack Dio, today expressed full support for the striking teachers in their quest for improved salaries. At his weekly press conference, Mr. Jack Dio, who served as president for 12 of his party's 23 years in government, said teachers were treated far better under the PPP than they are being treated now. Under the past government, the salary increases for teachers were usually around 5% annually. However, during negotiations, some other benefits were added. Jack Dio today told reporters that the government could find the money the teachers want by cutting back on the spending in several areas, from the rental of buildings to the purchase of vehicles for government business.
And so we support. This is not a political strike, although they try to make it like that way in Nagamutu and the others, saying if the teachers strike, they would help the PPP. That is, so they must not strike for industrial reasons, for legitimate grievances, because it would help the PPP. By converse, they must take whatever this government does to them. And so it's not political, and as far as I see, the demands are legitimate. The government needs to, if it can't meet all of the demands, it needs to engage. They've been crying out for engagement, the teachers, so far.
The opposition leader said when he was president, he dealt directly with the negotiations. Teachers across the country started strike action last week. As schools reopened their doors this week, the teachers stayed away from the classrooms, pressing for higher salaries. This afternoon, the Guyana Teachers Union and the Education Ministry agreed that it was time for the process to move to arbitration. In the world of business, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry has expressed concern over the delay in local content legislation being put forward, even as many regional and international companies are eyeing the oil industry in Guyana. The Chamber has now drafted its own legislation for local content and has since dispatched that to the government. The Chamber is calling for swift action as it relates to the enactment of policy or legislation on the issue of local content.
We have drafted our own legislation and we have sent it to the President. We have also sent it to the Leader of the Opposition, Dr. Jagdeo. We have also sent it to the Minister of Business, and we have also sent it to the Minister of Legal Affairs, Mr. Basil Williams.
President of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Deodat Indar. He also told reporters that he believes the local content legislation will give local businesses key consideration in providing goods and services to companies involved in the oil industry.
Prior to 2015, we started exploration out in Guyana. That's 2015. In 2015, we found first oil. We heard about the Liza 1 giant field. From then to now, we have not had a policy, we have not had any law, we have not had any fiscal rule or anything to say that there's a level of legal protection for Guyanese businesses. What has been happening is the invisible hand of supply and demand has been taking its course, meaning foreign companies who have the inside track, who knows all of the operators and the subcontractors and have history with them and are accustomed to them, have been getting these contracts for simple things in Guyana.
The Chamber also wants the government of Guyana to delay the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the Trinidadian government, which could pave the way for Trinidadian companies to gain better access to doing business in Guyana. Many of the Trinidadian companies are already focused on the oil industry. Trinidad's Prime Minister is expected in Guyana next Wednesday. And finally tonight, the police constable who was in the driver's seat when he slammed into a motorcyclist was today charged with driving under the influence of alcohol, as the investigations continue into the matter and other possible charges related to the death of the motorcyclist. 23-year-old police constable Ryan Prasad appeared in court today to face the drunk driving charge. He was granted bail in the sum of $25,000. Dressed in all black, Prasad stood before the magistrate and entered a plea of not guilty to the charge of driving under the influence of alcohol. The charge stated that on the 1st of September on Mandela Avenue, Prasad drove minibus PVV 4652 while his blood alcohol level was over the limit. Before bail was granted, his attorney explained to the court that the policeman is the sole breadwinner in his family. There was no objection to bail, and the bail amount was set at $25,000. The prosecutor, however, told the court that the policeman is currently part of an investigation into causing death of the same motorcyclist who was hit down in the accident. The incident occurred after 12 on Saturday night. The policeman was driving the heavily tinted police minibus when he slammed into the motorcyclist, who he claimed made a sudden turn in front of him. The motorcyclist fell to the ground and sustained several injuries. He was pronounced dead after being taken to a hospital. A breathalyzer test conducted on the police constable found that he was over the alcohol limit. The probe continues. And Source that's
Evening
your news
Bulletin
for tonight. Gordon Mosley reporting.